Welcome to the Ultimate Bloons TD6 strategy series, where I'm going to be showing you strategies for every single tower from the Dart Monkey to the Beast Handler and every single path in between. This will show you how to diversify your setup and get better, along with seeing some stats, tips and tricks, and all of the strategies for every single one of the towers. And although that the series is geared more towards Chimps mode, this will also show you a lot of tips and tricks that apply to the standard game and will allow you to win with a new style. Moving on to the last of the super monkeys, we have the bottom path super monkey that has the Dark Champion and the Dark Knight, which will be showing up for today's video. The Legend of Night called in 6, so we're not seeing him. Anyways, the Dark Knight is a mid-game Moab damage tower, and then we can upgrade it to the Dark Champion, which is going to be more of a late-game heavy damage tower. Kind of more like a win condition too. It's just extremely strong and does well against a good amount of things. So for the Dark Knights, this guy's stats has been going down for a while, although it's still pretty good and usable in some situations. It's just not as its OP status as before, and I'll definitely talk about how it can be used great in the mid game too. It's just one thing to note is that it doesn't have a lot of pierce, and you can negate that just by not using it as something that would rely on having pierce. Dark Champion, on the other hand, is extremely strong. I don't think it's been really nerfed at all much. You get the teleportation ability, which is super cool. It allows you to teleport everywhere, and it just has some great stats. Still not a whole lot of pierce, but you can easily counter this once you get there, so we'll talk more about that. So anyways, for the cross path, you could go 203 or 023. Most of the time you get 203 for the tier 3, and the tier 4 always just get 204, never get 024. The 023, it was called the Dumb Knight a while ago. It's an interesting choice. It has more pierce, more range, can teleport farther, but it just doesn't have as much Moab damage. So you can try using it out. It's not honestly that bad. And when it comes to the buffs, you can alch buff this guy, which will give it some good more pierce. The damage really isn't that crazy, but kind of that pierce and that attack speed is really nice. The thing is that if you're going to be teleporting them around, that alch buff isn't going to be teleporting with it. So just keep that in mind. And then going on for the tier 4, you also can kind of do the same thing, but note this guy's going to be teleporting around much likely more crazier, so that alch buff isn't going to be teleporting him around with him too, so just keep that in mind too. You can get it for the tier 4, just I don't really know how much you're going to be using his teleportation, and if you're going to be moving him to different spots, it's not as good. But overclock, on the other hand, is a must buy for the Dark Champion. You need this. It has 100% uptime, which is really great because Dark Champion is only a tier 4, and it just makes it so much stronger. For its price, it's just mandatory. And for the maps it's good on a lot of maps, mostly because you have the ability to teleport. The tier 3 is kind of limited. Its range is small if you have the 203, so you can't really push him around far, but with enough time, and because the ability cooldown is kind of short, you can go places. And then the tier 4 literally will just go everywhere. He doesn't really care about anything. So its pros is that it does great Moab damage, extremely strong tier 4, it can teleport, and it's cheap under discounts. Its con is that it has a huge lack of pierce, takes up a lot of space, and definitely does struggle to ceramics. The tier 4 Dark Champion, not so much struggling to ceramics. The tier 3, on the other hand, does. And when it comes to the hero, this guy does, it just fills a niche of doing Moab damage, and the tier 5 or tier 4 doesn't really need a specific hero, so literally just whatever. It doesn't really matter much. So let's take a look at 2 examples. I'm going to be doing the first one here on, this is not Workshop, I was just about to say Workshop, this is Underground. And we're going to be bringing Underground with Dark Knight and Oban too, so that's going to be cool. Our objectives for today are just going to be using Dark Knight as Moab damage in the mid game and Dark Champion as late game damage. So for this first one, I'm going to, I guess, kind of combine the two, and I'm going to be showing here with a Druid setup. You might have seen this in another strategy series video. The whole idea is just having the Druids, just like a typical Druid, something that you'd see save up for Avatar Wrath, but you can pull this together and do another setup or save up to another stronger tower. This time we're going to be combining it with Dark Knight, so we're not going to get as many pop lusts. I think here I just end up getting 3 pop lusts, and then we can use the Dark Knight to deal with some Moab damage. So just kind of more Moabs, and then with that we'll just have enough damage to be able to very easily save up into a pretty quick dark champion. So we're going to have Oben, a ball lightning. That ball lightning I'm going to get instead of just one tornado druid because I want to deal more with the big ceramic rushes. I don't really have much piercing as I only am going to be getting 3 pop lusts to counter what damage, Moab damage is going to be coming from the Dark Knight. We're going to definitely need something more to deal with that. So with Oben, that one ball of lightning is going to be going great. I'm just going to do a very basic thing. You've probably seen this a bunch of times. We can greed discount. We can get our druids up, 1 tornado druid, Alk buff Oben. You can also use his brambles around. This time I get another crossbow just to deal with camos because I'm not sure if Oben's going to place his brambles in the right spot. So dealing with RNG is something that I'm not going to want to do on a black border, so we'll just avoid that. And then I'm going to get my discount village up. I'm just going to get 2 discounts. I'm not going to be needing a camo village here, which will be nice. So we'll get that double discount, make everything cheaper. It's going to make the super monkey a lot cheaper too, which is really nice. And then we can get one of them to drums and start upgrading these guys to pop lusts. So just a few pop lusts. We'll get that Alk buff on Oben, and then we will have a ball lightning to accompany this whole setup, and it's going to work very, very well. We're going to get the Alk buff on stuff. You can use Oben's abilities to deal with whatever, but for a multi-lane map like this, it's going to be doing just fine. The ball lightning is going to take out the balloons. Pop list is going to hold things together. I actually bought Heart of Oak on one of them. That's not like something that's mandatory. And then with this village, we can then later start getting our Dark Knight. So you can just pull this guy into any strategy or save up that you need to do, whether you're going to be getting Dark Champion or not. You can use it if you just need some more Moab damage. It also comes with knockback, which will slow things down a little bit. And when I say you're going to be using this guy to really take out Moabs, it's just going to be doing the most damage to Moabs, although this doesn't mean I recommend putting him on strong, because if you put him on strong, you're probably going to get overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. A lot of times, sometimes like using strong targeting is the best, but not really, and you really need to be able to read the situation. Ideally, you'd micro it between strong and first, but that's like a lot of work, and for a regular black border, it's not worth doing. So if there's a situation that you're going to come up where leaving it on strong will kill you, then you got to keep it on first. And this is kind of like how most of the time things will work. If you're just going to be doing a black border, no intense micro, just leave it on first. He's going to be doing fine, even though technically it will do the most damage on strong. Same thing with having a elite defender, like a 205 elite defender on strong. It will be doing more damage for the elite defender, but it's going to be making an absolute nightmare for whatever is going to be doing your cleanup. And unless you have something like a Bloon solver that's just going to shred anything on its cleanup, then it's going to get overwhelmed, it's going to get purist capped, and you're going to lose. And I don't have like a Bloon solver here or something that will eliminate literally any amount of stuff, like no Spirit of the Forest, obviously. So we're just going to keep this guy first, and he's going to be doing well. So if you understand that, pretty cool. Anyways, I could have spent a little bit more to make the save up a bit cheaper. Well, not cheaper, it would be more expensive. I'd still be planning to get Dark Knight before round 85. If we're pushing into round 85, that is very bad news, because the 2 ZOMGs with super ceramics and extra health are an absolute nightmare, and that's kind of where the mid game stops. So we're going to be taking out round 40. You can use our abilities to deal with that. The ball lightning will throw back all of the balloons on the inside. Now super ceramics are coming in. This is where Dark Knight will tend to do a little bit better, because he kind of can deal with the super ceramics fairly well-ish. It's still not great because he's going to get pierce capped a lot, but taking out these fortified BFBs is really nice, and I'm able to get my Dark Champion on round 83. So I had 2 more rounds. I could have spent maybe around like 6k more, maybe throw Moab glue in the save up, and you could still get it really early, but just having something like this will allow me to get a Dark Champion super strong tower up really early. You also could just use this and throw the Dark Knight in there to do any other like mid-game save up. Probably not with druids, because if you're going to be doing the druids for a mid-game save up, you'd have like your whole cluster of druids, and that would just generally be more effective. But if you have like, I don't know, like maybe a Ring of Fire, which I'll be showing in the next example, and something else, you just need more Moab damage because your strategy's lacking some Moab damage, then you just throw that in and he's going to be doing well. And then from here, I went AFK and I started eating breakfast. It was so yummy. For breakfast there, I had some leftover charcuterie, so it was just like cheese and crackers that we had from a party before. Pretty good. Eating random leftovers from parties actually is probably more yummy than the party, like eating the food at the party itself. Not gonna lie, I don't know why, it's just an experience. So yeah, I went AFK and I forgot to really buy anything, and we came back to being dead on round 40. So let's just get our overclock. We really need this overclock. I'm gonna stim him for more pure so we can move him around, and that's good. I still have like 40,000 I didn't spend, so I'd recommend maybe like some Moab presses to kind of keep some of the ZOMGs away so you won't be dealing with so much. And then typically you're also going to need something to deal with round 100 if the map is a bit shorter, so just one spike storm would do that. It doesn't have crazy single target damage, like absolute single target damage, so just round 100 you need a little bit of something, but it's good, and it can deal a lot. I was able to beat that underground map with a lot left over. So now we're going to be going on to this map, Cover Garden. This map honestly kind of stinks. I only really played it because I haven't played it I don't think I've done a single strat series video on this map, so I kind of felt bad. Fetched to the bone, and now I'm playing it. So we're just going to throw down Soda, and I'm going to be getting Dark Knight as a very generalized strategy. You kind of can do this on like easier maps, although hopefully on the maps that you're doing this, your towers aren't like blocked and you can't upgrade them for a while for like the next 4 rounds. Kind of makes things a little bit annoying, but I'm just going to get Soda, and then I'll get a Ring of Fire up there too, just Sniper to deal with some leads, and that Dart to deal with whatever. Anyways, for this I decided I'm not just going to cheese it and get a like Heli Pilot or Spectre or whatever, and that kind of was pretty stupid, because why would I try to not cheese this map when the map is fundamentally kind of stupid. Anyways, we'll get that Super Monkey in there. I'll grab that Alk buff on the side, so he's going to be doing a bit more helping out. Also, an Alk buff based super actually goes kind of hard. It does a lot of damage, more than you might expect. I was able to take out round 40 with the ability, and then we'll just get a village, and now I'm going to have to wait for everything to rotate around. Finally, it's back. I can get a few upgrades and then have to wait again. So with this, we're going to just have something that kind of deals some good ceramic damage, or I guess general balloon damage in this early game, which will be that Ring of Fire, so that will also help out a bit. And then we'll have this Dark Knight that does some good damage to the Moabs. And this will allow me to save up to maybe a very like medium price tower, like a cheaper tier 5, very easily, and it will be super cool, very effective. So this is one way you could kind of use it in the mid game, or we can take it a step further and get something a little more power on the balloon side, kind of clean up side. So I'm just going to throw in a Ultra Juggernaut here, U-Jug, and then that will allow me to push very, very far. So with a great balloon cleanup like from the Ultra Juggernaut, especially on this map because it's going to be bouncing around, Soda, not Ring of Fire, I guess is going to be helping out a bit too, and then the Dark Knight being able to deal more damage to the stronger balloons, allowing everything to work very, very well together. You have that perfect synergy in the mid game, and it will push far into the early 80s. Hopefully going straight up to 85 on some easier maps past there into the 90s, which from there you can buy expensive tier 5s all you want, make the rest of your late game super, super easy, which is going to be super chill. Or you can buy Dark Champion too. I ended up doing that again in this game, but really whatever. You can buy like Superstorm if you want. Again, I went back to eating some breakfast. Like I kind of was eating, like going back from recording these videos to eating throughout like this extended 40-minute period, so it was a pretty chill morning, I'd say. But then I kind of realized that I went AFK a bit too much, and I had to use like a bunch of abilities and even buy a Moab Blue to survive for the rotation to come back around to buy Dark Champion. But I end up getting Dark Champion. It's all super cool. We're gonna overclock this guy, but I can't really overclock him when the panels are over, but I can teleport him out. So we do that, just overclock and some extra help with other stuff. It beats round 98, 99, super easy. The DDTs tend to go down easier, and then 100 I just got a first strike, because again, it can't really do 100 most of the time. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!